Have you ever loved someone so quietly that by the time they realized your worth, you were already gone? A few years ago, I signed a marriage contract with a woman who never loved me. And the craziest part? I said yes, knowing that from the beginning. At the time, I was barely getting by. I worked mornings in a diner, nights doing prep work in a hotel kitchen, and every dollar I made went toward taking care of the woman who raised me. She wasn't my biological mother. She was my stepmom. But after my dad died, she was the only person who stayed. Then she got sick. Hospital bills stacked up fast, and no matter how many extra shifts I worked, I couldn't keep up. That's when she walked back into my life. Her name was Claire. We'd gone to college together. Claire came from money, like real money. Her family owned half the city, including the private hospital where my stepmom was being treated. One day she asked to meet me, and she made me an offer. She needed a husband for 4 years, not a real marriage, just something on paper. Her family wanted her married before she could access part of her inheritance, and the man she actually loved was overseas finishing med school. She said if I agreed, my stepmom's treatment would be covered. No bills, no debt, just sign the contract. And yeah, I hated the idea. But when someone you love is lying in a hospital bed, pride doesn't mean much, so I signed. And just like that, I moved into her world. Her house was massive. Marble floors, private staff, rooms bigger than the apartment I'd grown up in. But for me, there was one small guest room down the hall, and that's where I stayed. To everyone else, we looked like a married couple. But inside that house, we were strangers. Still, I tried. Not because I thought she'd fall for me. I knew she wouldn't. But because that's just who I was. I cooked for her, packed her lunches, stayed up when she worked late, remembered the little things, and somewhere along the way, I fell in love with her. The kind of love you know is going to hurt, but you feel it anyway. Claire was never cruel, just distant, polite, like I was part of the furniture, and honestly, that almost made it worse, because part of me kept hoping that if I cared enough, maybe one day she'd see me. But 4 years passed, and nothing changed. Then one night, she told me her boyfriend was coming home, Daniel, the man she'd been waiting for, and suddenly, the countdown on that contract felt real. I started packing before the papers even arrived. I told myself it didn't matter, that I knew how this would end, but knowing pain is coming doesn't stop it from hurting. Then Daniel arrived, and the second I saw him, I recognized him. He was a guy from high school, the kind who made people feel small just because he could. And apparently time hadn't changed him. He looked at me, laughed, and said, "Wait, you're the husband?" Claire didn't say anything. He kept going, talking to me like I was some charity case, and I kept waiting for her to step in, to say anything. She didn't. Then he wrapped his arm around her, kissed her right in front of me, and smiled like he'd won something. And Claire, she just stood there, silent. That silence hurt more than anything he said, because in that moment, I realized something. After 4 years under the same roof, I still meant nothing to her. So that night, I signed the divorce papers, packed the same bag I came with, and left before sunrise. No argument, no goodbye, no dramatic speech, just gone. 5 years later, I own my own restaurant. My stepmom is healthy, and for the first time in my life, I built something that belongs to me. Sometimes people ask if Claire ever reached out. She did, twice. The first time, I ignored it. The second time, she sent one message. I didn't realize what I had until you left. And honestly, for years, I thought hearing that would heal something in me. But it didn't. Because when someone only sees your value after losing you, that isn't love, that's regret. And regret sounds romantic until you're the one who paid the price for it.